young and old, have been looking forward for so many years to the first ever Merseyside FA Cup final. And here it is. Fans standing close together, hopefully in harmony, as they usually are when these two neighbours meet. And there's Howard Kendall, who's going to lead his side out for the FA Cup final for the third year running. That's not quite unique. Terry Neal did it with Arsenal. But what is unique is that Kenny Dalglish is the first player-manager to lead his team out in the FA Cup final at Wembley. The manager of the year, 1985 on the far side. The manager of the year, 1986 on the near side. Liverpool have won 30 prizes in the last 23 seasons. And Everton have won 5 major honours in the last 3. Let's take a check on the team news. Derek Mountfield's presence after that injury scare makes him one of 6 players in this Everton side taking part in their 3rd successive FA Cup final. He's also one of only 2 Merseyside-born players, as I said, starting the match. Number 6, Peter Reid, the other one. But that's the team that Howard Kendall wanted to announce. Bobby Mims obviously continues in goal for the injured Neville Southall. Now, Liverpool, by contrast, have absolutely no FA Cup final experience among their 12, and they're setting some sort of cup final record by fielding a side without a single Englishman who can actually play for his country. Mark Lawrenson was born in Preston, but he's a Republic of Ireland international, and Gary Gillespie's stomach upset means that Lawrenson definitely plays alongside Hansen at the back, in the middle of the back 4, despite the number 2. Nicol, the number 4, plays right back. Midfield, Molby and Kevin MacDonald, who didn't know he was in the side until they got to the stadium. Hasn't ever been to Wembley before. Well, I suppose the chief protagonists, Jimmy, if we're looking for potential match winners, would be, first of all, Gary Lineker.
Yes, if I'd drawn him in the sweep as the first goal scorer this afternoon, I'd feel pretty happy. He's, like all outstanding players, he has extra pace. I mean, it's the most obvious thing about him. He's a first-class athlete. But in addition to that, you look at those strong legs, he's quite remarkably strong when he turns with the ball, so that a player can get a tackle in, but may not necessarily get the ball off him. Beautifully built athlete with splendid heading ability. He can leap well, and he's got an eye for a cross. He's marvellous at getting on the end of crosses quicker than defenders. And talking about an athlete on the other side, Ian Rush, he'd never win a Mr. Universe competition, that's a certainty, but he's like a greyhound. He has lean, hungry, no spare flesh on him at all, and he's scored, of course, 30 goals in 4 out of the last 5 seasons for Liverpool.
The referee is Alan Robinson of Waterlooville in Hampshire. It's his last season, but it's his 7th time on duty here at Wembley. His 2 linesmen are Alan Gunn of Burgess Hill, the senior linesman, and Bob Hart of Darlington. And the Everton captain, Kevin Ratcliffe, scorer of a goal when these sides last met at Anfield, when Everton won 2-0 at the end of February, and that was the last match that Liverpool lost. Well, Jan Molby, what a terrific season he's had, 21 goals. And the recent record of these 2 sides going into the match makes quite staggering reading. Everton beaten only twice in 29 League and Cup matches. Liverpool have gone 17 games unbeaten. They've had 9 straight wins and only let in 1 goal in their last 10 major games. So Everton in blue get us started, playing from right to left. Steve Nicol for Liverpool. Johnston chasing against Ratcliffe. Comes back to Sheedy. It was Lawrenson, and there's an offside flag up already. Steven up with Whelan. Reid.
Just a point there at the kickoff, John. They actually started with 2 Everton players in the Liverpool half of the field. The referee did a kind of dummy overblowing his whistle. That shouldn't be, but I suppose it's a detail that's not going to really worry us.
Well, somebody at home is bound to have spotted it, Jim. Came off Johnston. Now it's Sharp with Nicol. Now there might be a bit of a test for Mountfield in the early stages with this knee scare, but he coped extremely well there in his first serious challenge against Ian Rush. Free kick was given. Lineker hovering there, and the free kick given again. Graham Sharp was fouled. Now Everton have Kevin Sheedy as a man who can purvey the ball well on these free kicks. Mountfield is up. And Gary Stevens will try a shot. Liverpool chasing the elusive League and FA Cup double, which Everton themselves were in with a chance of attaining this time last year. Van den Hauwe. Nicol. Dalglish. Johnston. Sheedy and Dalglish. And Mulby was caught late by Peter Reid. It's a free kick. Here's Nicol. Mulby. Pitch fairly well worn in the centre circle. Johnston. Dalglish. Mulby. Foul again by Paul Bracewell. Quiet word from Alan Robinson there for that tackle by Bracewell on Mulby. Here's Nicol. And Rush comes in. Ian Rush was an Everton supporter as a boy. And Steve Nicol got the ball in towards him there. All sorts of local loyalties and conflicts in this Merseyside occasion. Beglin. Mulby. Dalglish trying to turn it on to Johnston. Weather is dry and clear. Beglin. Whelan to Rush. Mulby. Stevens. Lineker hoping for a through pass to latch onto. Alan Hansen got a foot there. Here's Reed. Sheedy. Van den Houw. Nicol. Dalglish. Molby. Lovely ball by Dalglish to Molby, and it might have been an even better one to Johnston, but not quite enough weight on it. It's Beglin. Now Reed. Lineker is on the fringe of the defence, but he's been caught offside, and I suppose, Jimmy, that's the thing that they've got to watch.
Yes, both back fours, as is customary in so many matches these days, and teams will be pushing up at it every opportunity, and if the forwards sleep at all and dream, they're caught.
In by Nicol, looking for McDonald, good ball, and Mountfield. Bobby Mims got down well to save the ball going out for a corner. McDonald was threatening, and it brushed against Derek Mountfield here. On the chest, though. Johnston. Bracewell. There's Reed. Stevens. Hansen. Bracewell. Reed. Reed pulled down. Ronnie Whelan contesting that, but the free kick has been given against the Liverpool number 5. To be taken by Stevens. Mountfield comes in with Hansen. Here's Bracewell. Brushed against Whelan. Beglin. Rush and Ratcliffe, who tend to share a room when Wales are away on international duty, but they're very much up against each other today. Rush got the free kick there against the Everton skipper. Hansen. Beglin looks for McDonald, who's got in here, and it was a good saving challenge. McDonald almost got between them. Needed the experience of the captain Ratcliffe there to sort things out, but he's missed that one. And Kevin McDonald, playing an advanced role here in the Liverpool midfield, twice gave Everton something to think about there. Sharp against Hansen. Reed. Sheedy with Johnston. Free kick given in Liverpool's favour.
It does seem as if Liverpool have settled down much more quickly, but that's not surprising because Everton in recent weeks have really given their opponents far too much of the play early on. It's taken them time to get their rhythm, and it looks as if that same pattern is emerging in the game today. Liverpool looking to settle down and make their passes much more accurately and quickly than Everton do, but we shall see.
Dalglish. There's quite a gusty wind down there at pitch level too, I think, Jimmy.
Yes, not easy. I was blown about on the motorway today coming, so it's going to blow a car. It's going to blow that light ball about.
Here's Nicol. Oh, and MacDonald a bit short. Lawrenson had to cover. And a good length on the kick there, and Mims is coming to meet Rush. That may actually indicate the way the wind is going. Whelan. And again, Mountfield in confidently. Johnston. Mountfield came across, that Sheedy. Reed. Bracewell. Reed again. Liverpool throw. Dalglish looks for Johnston. That's Vanden Hauwe. It's a Liverpool corner. The first of the match. Try again. Throw in this time. Off Lineker. Nicol. And a very good effort there by Jim Beglin, who stayed forward following the corner. Now that's what you call a bird's eye view. Might be some debate about how he actually got there. He'll have a story to tell when he gets home, Jimmy.
1 up for Liverpool.
1 up for our cameraman, I think, for spotting him. Here's Nicol. Rush to Molby. It's that sort of day, really, isn't it? Any view's a good view. Here's Sheedy. Hansen. Beglin. Almost gave it to Stephen. Whelan. Offside flag is up on this side. Referee has no need to stop the game, but it was acknowledged. It's a small point, but the linesmen are using a different type of flag today. It's been designed to avoid the actual flag getting furled up around the stick, and it'll be used in Football League matches next season. Lawrenson away from Sharp. Ratcliffe. Rush to Molby. Out to Johnston. Play on. Advantage. Steve Nicol. Lawrenson. There's Beglin. Reed came to meet him. Molby on to Beglin again, who stayed forward. Offside against Craig Johnston, but it's been given now. "15 minutes gone in the All-Merseyside FA Cup final. And down there's a man in the centre of the Liverpool bench who's seen it all before in terms of derby matches anyway. Bob Paisley, who celebrated 47 years at Anfield this week. Sharp's in there. Reed. Stevens to Reed again. Dalglish in the way. Mountfield. Johnston. Mulby. McDonald wants a through ball. Gary Stevens aware of the danger.
There's another young athlete going to Mexico who's extremely quick. It gives him such an advantage as a defender. That ball, he read it, and once he got into his stride there was only one winner of that race. I think the wind's winning at the moment, John. Both sides finding it very difficult to settle. It's not easy. It's easy to be critical sitting here, but on the other hand, they do take time to find the pace and learn to trust the wind or not to trust it, as the case may be. It swirls an awful lot in that stadium at Wembley. I found out the other week when I played for 15 minutes.
And Lineker there, surrounded by 3 red shirts. And Mulby very confident about his back pass to Lawrenson. And then that was a challenge coming in from Mountfield, which left the Liverpool player-manager in some distress. The referee had a passing word with Mountfield, who definitely took Dalglish there as he tried to turn him.
It was a tackle from behind. He was somewhere near the ball. It wasn't a really wild one of kicking the man across the legs at the back. I mean, he was aiming for the ball, but I think he obviously hurt Kenny. He doesn't go down for nothing. I think it's in the, it looks like the base of the spine there. He's actually got a bruise that's being massaged. He'll come back. His season's not finished yet.
His quite astonishing Liverpool career actually started here at Wembley. Kenny Dalglish made his debut in a Charity Shield match against Manchester United. There goes Johnston. Here comes Ian Rush. And now Steve Nicol following up. Mulby, Nicol. Johnston's offside. Whelan, Dalglish, Vanden Hauwe, Sheedy. They're looking for Lineker, and Grobbelaar, unorthodox. How effective is it? It's gone straight to Trevor Steven. To Gary Stevens now. Sharp! And they thought that they should have had a penalty. Alan Robinson did not.
It'll be worth a look at that again, I can tell you. He's blowing his whistle, the ref. I don't know what he doesn't like. It gives us a chance just to have a look at that. Just coming in from the edge of frame there. He seemed very upset about it, Sharp, as if there was no doubt in his mind that he was held.
He felt he was impeded. Steve Nicol, I think it was. All stem from Grobbelaar, coming a good 20 yards to kick clear that. Bracewell. And now the sort of ball that Lineker likes. He's got Lawrenson up against him. Sharp and Steven are waiting, and Nicol clears for the corner. Stevens, Sharp and Vanden Hauwe all waiting. Up goes Stevens. Liverpool defending that near post very carefully. It's interesting that when Alan Robinson refereed the Milk Cup final here between the two teams 2 years ago, he turned down appeals for an Everton penalty when Alan Hansen was alleged to have handled on the line. Well, today he's turned down Everton appeals in different circumstances, but they weren't happy again today.
You wouldn't want him for your bank manager, John.
Here's Dalglish. Johnston. Rush. So a heading opportunity at either end for the number 9s, Jimmy.
Yes, and I think both would have gone on more confidently if they were aware, you know, that the ball wasn't going to blow with the wind. He was underneath that. It came in very fast. There it is. Made a good attempt to get above and get the ball down, but at the end of the day, it wasn't really a chance because the ball was too high to be headed in the net.
And Sheedy. Away by Lawrenson. This is Johnston. Really driven that, aiming for Rush. Mulby. Stevens. And Lineker's off again. Lawrenson's got a full-time job on there. Needs all his pace. The flag's up for a foul the other way, actually, but it needn't be given because Liverpool have the ball. Lineker just shoving Lawrenson. Now Rush trying to get in behind Ratcliffe. Halfway through the first half, Everton 0, Liverpool 0. Nicol. This is Bracewell. Lineker, nice touch. Peter Reid. Back again towards Lineker. Lawrenson's long leg stretching out, a corner. Owen Grobbelaar taking it off Sharp's head and then throwing it towards Kenny Dalglish, but it's too long. There's MacDonald. He's accustomed himself well to the occasion so far. This is Jim Beglin. MacDonald again. Bit short that one though to Ronnie Whelan. Beglin. Again, MacDonald. Nice turn, rushes in the centre, Vanden Hauwe. The shape of the Everton defence, so solid. And they're looking on the counter to try to get Lineker through, as everybody knew they would, to use his pace against the Liverpool back four, especially as Liverpool have elected to play without the sweeper. Ball was out. Gary Stevens possesses a very long throw for Everton. Grobbelaar comes to meet Sharp and doesn't quite get there. There's Reid. Bracewell. Stevens still forward. Grobbelaar comes again. More successfully this time.
You never know with Bruce. You never know. One thing, he's an entertainer, and they say the game's crying out for them these days, so he earns his money on that count anyway.
After his eccentric spell mid-season, he's certainly finished in good form for Liverpool in the finale to the Championship. This is Graham Sharp. Lovely play. Gary Stevens. Mark Lawrenson. Well, it's mostly going through the centre and through midfield. Here's Rush. Dalglish on the left, offside.
Very tight one, that. It was a well-timed run, but the linesman made his decision with his new flag. Obviously goes up in the air as frequently as the old ones, John.
Well, there's going to be one or two close ones, I think, with players trying to just time their run at the right moment. Brandon Howe. Reed. Bracewell. Beglin. The wide players finding it hard to get into the game at the moment. Trevor Stevens hardly had a kick on that right wing for Everton. Hansen. And Johnston on this side would appreciate some service. But couldn't do much with that. This is Ratcliffe. Chipped forward for Lineker. Now Molby. This is Molby to Dalglish. Now Reed. Lineker off through the centre again. This is promising. Lineker for Everton, saved by Grobbelaar. Lineker, 1-0 to Everton. And who else but Gary Lineker? His 40th goal of the season for Everton. The footballer of the year. Peter Reed's through ball, absolutely measured. It puts Lineker clear of Hansen. Grobbelaar made the first save, and Lineker followed up and put Everton into the lead after 28 minutes of the All-Merseyside FA Cup final. Johnston for Liverpool. Well, Liverpool will hate the size of Lineker. He's scored against them in both the league matches this season, and now he does it in the FA Cup final. Following up, Grobbelaar almost saved the second one, but not quite. Well, Bob Paisley said to me on Thursday night at the Liverpool Hotel, talking about key areas, he said Peter Reed has got so much cunning and know-how. He's the kind of man you fear for providing that sort of pass. And he also said that the man to latch on to that kind of ball is obviously the footballer of the year, Gary Lineker. He read it right, but Liverpool are one down. Johnston, and here's Dalglish. Tackled by Ratcliffe, and away by Stephen. So we're not going to have a goalless draw as we had in the Milk Cup final here between the two teams. Beglin. Molby. Nicol. Whelan. Nicol. And taken out wisely by Mountfield. Half an hour gone. Dalglish. And Lawrenson coming in here. And McDonald. What about the goal, Jimmy?
Well, it was a beautiful move, and you've described it equally well. There's no doubt about he had the pace to leave Hansen struggling, and the ball held up there for a minute. Grobbelaar will be disappointed that he didn't hold on to that first shot. Similar to that one he gave away at Spurs, I think, earlier on when we were on live. Sometimes as a keeper, they'll tell you'll get your hand to the ball and it'll roll safely, and another time like that, it'll go to just the spot to enable the forward to complete the chance. That should the way your luck runs, but there was no luck about the through ball, nor the way in which Lineker got onto the end of it.
Here's Mulvey for Liverpool. Rush, try to flick it back to Dalglish. Sheedy. That was Ratcliffe. Then it was Sharp, lovely play by him. Return not so good from Trevor Stephen. And Lineker's now bustling Lawrenson. The whistle's already gone for an Everton free kick. Lawrenson not happy about that. Trevor Stephen. Lineker up with Hansen. Lawrenson coming to help. Beglin. Stephen. Bracewell. Reed. That's the understanding in the Everton engine room. Gary Stevens in. Lineker. If he could have turned, then there was another chance on. Mulvey. Dalglish. Now all the craft of Kenny Dalglish is required now for Liverpool to cancel out what Peter Reid created there for Everton. Perhaps the two cleverest players in terms of knowledge of the game on the pitch. But Everton, for the moment, hold sway here. They have the lead, they have the free kick, and they have their supporters singing. Stevens to Stephen. Sharp. Mountfield is up there. Sharp again. Came back off Mulvey for a throw. How well Sharp's led the line this season for Everton. Vandenhauwe with the throw. Dalglish. Nice header out by McDonald, but an equally good challenge there by Sheedy. Gary Lineker will be pleased he kept that old pair of boots that he's had repaired so many times. Tried a new pair the other week and brought him bad luck. McDonald. Only the second goal that Liverpool had conceded in 11 first-class matches. But what a priceless goal it might be. As Howard Kendall is well aware, cup finals normally tight, tense matches, and that was always predicted between these two rivals who know each other so well.
not a bad goal either, with the World Cup in mind. If you can catch out your neighbours with a ball like that when they know you'll play, it might work quite well against the foreigners.
Yes, the two players involved, both in the England party, Peter Reid and Gary Lineker. Here's Sharp of Scotland. Bracewell. Hansen. Molby, nicely done. MacDonald. They're trying to stay onside here, Liverpool. Whelan is wide. Here's Dalglish. Little back heel. Gary Stevens. Sensible. This is Whelan for Liverpool. Now it's MacDonald. And Rush. Blocked by Ratcliffe. One Welshman denying the other. Lineker. Reid. Now Sheedy just offside.
Here's the move coming up now. No way in which you can actually get a look. Oh, this is the shot, well blocked by Ratcliffe, rather, showing what a splendid defender he really is. He read it all the way, got his leg in the way when the final shot came. No danger.
Dalglish to MacDonald, and there goes Johnston, and Bobby Mims did well. Well, Neville Southall would have been happy to make a save like that, because Mims came quickly and decisively to foil Johnston. Neville's down there on the bench in the second row back. Sharp up, here's Lineker. And Whelan. And now Rush. Dalglish and Ratcliffe again in first. That last incident said an awful lot about the way Ratcliffe marshals the Everton defence. He swooped down there to block the Rush shot, but here's Sharp. Offside. A fine leader too is Kevin Ratcliffe, still only 25. Keeping that back four in good order. Hansen. That's a measured ball for Dalglish. Bracewell gets back. Everton working so hard and so effectively. And Lineker letting Sharp take over this time on the through ball, but Lineker's pulled away to the far side. Here's Sheedy. Sharp again. Vanden Hauwe. Bracewell. This is good possession football by Everton, but it is progressive. Gary Stevens. Trevor Steven. They're waiting in the centre, four of them.
Well, a bit of pattern in the game there, John, and domination and confidence coming out of Everton as a result of that one-goal lead. It would be extremely unexpected if Everton went into half-time with, say, a two-goal lead, because remember, you and I both bet on a draw at the end of 90 minutes.
Well, you've given the game away there, Jim. We did get a rather nice quote from Ladbrokes that it was 9-4 against a draw over 90 minutes, and I would have thought that was possibly most people's favourite result.
Well, it still could be. There's only one in it, bear in mind, but Everton do seem to have rattled Liverpool at the moment. They're having a job settling. They're picking up confidence every minute of the game. And suddenly you can see a formation in the team, which I haven't seen in that team for a number of weeks.
Mind you, the oldest saying in football is never write off Liverpool when they're behind. Here's Sheedy. Sharp is in there. Trevor Steven hovering here. Didn't quite read it, though.
Young Trevor Steven there is the enigma, really. He seems to have all the natural talent to be just the player England want on the right side of midfield. He can go past players, he can do a midfielder's job, he's got a nice touch and he scores goals. But that's 2 chances he's had on the wing there and muffed them both, really.
This is Rush. Beglin. Liverpool never a side to be knocked out of their stride by a setback like that. They'll just keep playing the way they know best. Here's McDonald. Four minutes left in the first half, and it's Everton 1, Liverpool 0, courtesy of Gary Lineker. Nicol. McDonald. Molby. Foul by Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe is playing with a determination born out of a frustration that Everton have lost the championship. His heart set on lifting the FA Cup to even things up against this Liverpool side. Whelan. That was Bracewell. Now, Kenny Dalglish. Sheedy for Everton. This 4-man midfield of theirs totally in touch with each other. That was Trevor Steven back to Gary Stevens. They have a good understanding also on the right. Colin Harvey, the Everton coach, on this side of Howard Kendall. An influential figure behind the scenes. Doesn't get a lot of publicity, I don't think. Beglin. Rush. Oh, and Ratcliffe this time has to turn the ball out for a corner. Wasn't what he intended. Taken quickly, Johnston. Nicol. Looking for Whelan. Trevor Steven was in first. Jim Beglin was in second. Just a couple of minutes left in the first half here at Wembley. Everton lead by Gary Lineker's goal. Makes his overall total in first-class football for the season 43, because he also scored a hat-trick here for England against Turkey. Sheedy. Play on, says Alan Robinson. He likes to let the game flow when he can. That was Nicol away from Sheedy. Rush on to Molby. Last minute of the first half, Liverpool on the attack. Whelan is out wide. Molby. Nice little ball for Ian Rush. Onside. Waiting for Beglin. And now Molby. Half blocked. Dalglish. Offside flag was up against Craig Johnston. Play will have to be pulled back. Your general feeling on the first half, Jimmy?
Bit of nastiness going on at the moment there. I think they'll all settle down and calm themselves. Kenny, I think, was a bit annoyed more with himself that that little touch pass there didn't quite work on the end of that attack, which gave the ball away. But I'm just thinking he'll need that walk to the tunnel at half-time if he's going to get his breath back to give the team talk, which a player's manager responsibilities require. But he's got to go some way. There's a lot in the game yet. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Liverpool are far from dead. Any side would be. But on the other hand, Everton have picked up more confidence, as I've said, than they've had in recent weeks, which is a good sign for them. They look like scoring more goals, and I think possibly Liverpool will score before the end as well. I don't see it staying at 1-0. That's my verdict at half-time anyway, and we shall see what happens there.
Well, everything's gone right for Gary Lineker this season. And Peter Reid, another England World Cup prospect, being led off there with Howard Kendall, produced this pass, which I think, Jimmy, will go down as one of the finest balls played of its kind in a Wembley Cup final in recent years.
It was perfect. In fact, it made it difficult to finish there, you see, and there wasn't a lot of power in that shot, which gave Grobbelaar the chance to get to it, but he did just push it off in a perfect position for the forward to pick up, and Lineker, he doesn't need a second invitation to do that, does he?
So, in the all-Merseyside FA Cup final, the half-time score is Everton 1, Liverpool 0. Well, Liverpool actually had more goal attempts than Everton in the first half. They had 6 to Everton's 3. They also had 3 corners to Everton's 2, but Everton scored the goal that counted, and Wembley therefore maintains its record of always producing a goal in the FA Cup final. There hasn't been a 0-0 draw here. In fact, you have to go back to 1912 to find one in the FA Cup final. Liverpool then have it to do in the second half. Funny how down the years the FA Cup has seemed to be the competition that Liverpool find it hardest to win. That was Reid. Nicol. That's Hansen. Now Reid to Stevens. The England players are looking in pretty good shape. There were 4 of them there combining, all due to go off to Colorado Springs on Monday if this match is settled today. That's Stevens, Reid, Stephen and Lineker. And Hansen. Beglin. Oh, and Sharp nearly in. It was missed by McDonald on the near post. Sheedy. Nicol forward to Dalglish. Molby. Now offside, Kevin McDonald. Liverpool's players have gone protesting to Alan Robinson.
I think Kevin McDonald's run was from an onside position, but I think Craig Johnson might have been just hanging offside on the right-hand side of the field, and up went the flag. Goes Sharp. Here comes Bracewell for Everton. Sheedy's to his left. This is Sheedy. Lineker and Sharp are waiting, but so was Grobbelaar. Mountfield staying shoulder to shoulder with Rush there. But here's Molby. It was a good pass from Whelan. Offside Dalglish. All of that came from that quite beautiful throw of Bruce Grobbelaar. He caught it from the cross, and within just half a second, it's on the halfway line at Rush's feet.
Sharp. Lineker. Away by Beglin, only to Bracewell. And it was jabbed back by McDonald in the end. Bracewell, I think, on second thoughts, might have played the ball to Sheedy. By the way, he put his hand up afterwards. I think that was his verdict, not mine. Gary Lineker again. What a handful he is. Trevor Stephen. Quite a record this lad's got. He joined Everton, Trevor Stephen, in 1983, and in each of his 3 seasons at Goodison Park, he's finished up playing in the FA Cup final every time. Came from Burnley originally. There goes Dalglish, rushes in the centre. Johnston's moving forward now, but still Dalglish. Now it's Stephen for Everton. Robbed by MacDonald, who was fouled by Stevens. A little impetuous, that. MacDonald's taken a very quick free kick, and here's Rush. Ratcliffe is with him, and it's Dalglish. An appropriate moment, if there's a Scotsman in the picture, to tell you that there's been another goal in the Scottish Cup final at Hampden Park. And if we've got a potential match winner here, they've certainly got one up there, because John Hewitt has scored again for Aberdeen. So it's beginning to look as though it might be a heartbreaking season, and the pun wasn't intended, for Heart of Midlothian. 2-0 in Scotland, 1-0 at Wembley, just over 5 minutes gone in the second half between Everton and Liverpool. Stevens. Reed. Turned in by Bracewell. Picked up again by Stephen. This is Stevens. Nicol had to clear. Sharp was coming in. There was a nice touch back by Lineker in the middle of that move as well. He's not just a goal scorer. Reed. Vanden Hauwe now in attack. But Beglin. Liverpool not sure of themselves. And Sheedy. Well, it was confusion in front of him, there's no doubt about that. Kevin Sheedy, who we normally see striking the ball so well with his left foot, curled one agonisingly away from the post with his right.
And the opportunity presented by a Liverpool defence doing something that I think would make Bob Paisley's remaining hair stand on end. It's seldom you see Liverpool as unprofessional as that in their own penalty area, just playing around with the ball and asking for trouble.
The man who nearly punished them, a former Liverpool player himself. Bob Paisley actually was manager when Sheedy went from Liverpool to Everton. So the score remains 1-0, and Derek Mountfield has jogged forward for this free kick. Appeals for handball. It's been given against Craig Johnston. Everton looking menacing again now. Sheedy, perhaps with the left foot this time. It was. Good save. Those near-post corners are wicked when they're curled in like that by Sheedy. Sharp and Vanden Hauwe are causing confusion in the near-post area. And Vanden Hauwe is up again. Lofted back in again by Sheedy. And that's awkward for Grobbelaar, and it was half cleared by Mark Lawrence, and Derek Mountfield will retrieve. Bracewell. Sharp is still there. And he's still there. And Grobbelaar seems to be at 6s and 7s with Beglin, as you might gather from that. Unrest in the camp.
There he is, not best pleased. Annoyed at the way the goal went in the first half, no doubt, and the emotion all sparkling up there in that household tiff. Nice man, very seldom you see him angry in that kind of way, Bruce Grobbelaar. Good-natured, but annoyed at the moment because Liverpool are 1-0 behind and they can see the cup slipping from their grasp, and none more than that man there, Bruce Grobbelaar.
Well, if that second goal had gone in, the League and Cup double would begin to slip away from Liverpool's grasp. And Everton seem determined here to make sure that they don't achieve it. 10 minutes gone in the second half. The Blues still 1 in front. And that was made easy for him.
He's rattled all right, and he's got to calm down, and so have Liverpool. The game's still within their grasp, but they won't get back into it unless they keep their heads rather more coolly than Grobbelaar is at the moment.
Seems unfair to single out Grobbelaar's errors, but he did make one in the Merseyside derby at Anfield when Everton won 2-0, and he also had the misfortune to score an inadvertent own goal against them here in a Charity Shield match, although it was more of a fortuitous goal. Couldn't do much about it on the day. Whelan. Brandon Howe, play on again. Lineker through the centre. Hansen trying to cover, and this time he does. Not quite sure what Lineker's doing to his potential transfer value here. There have been stories in the paper about Barcelona. Forward by Beglin. But I suppose we've got the best person to answer that on our panel. Here's Whelan. Molby. And here's Rush, onside. Ian Rush, goal. The referee was knocked over in the excitement, but Ian Rush has equalised for Liverpool. 57 minutes, and Jan Molby put a little ball through here. They beat the offside trap. Rush went round Bobby Mims, and it was over the line without Johnson having to follow in. He took the keeper beautifully and finished with a lot of style.
They're saying if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs, and Jan Molby kept his head for that through ball there. It was perfectly placed for that, the run of the two players.
So 1-1, and reminders too here that Liverpool have never lost a match in which Ian Rush has scored. More of that in a moment. This is Dalglish. Out to his right is Johnston. Rush has an extraordinary record. Before today, he had scored for Liverpool in 120 matches, of which they'd won 101 and drawn 19. Well, those supporters now can give vent to their feelings, perhaps for almost the first time this afternoon. It's fair to say that Everton had threatened to go 2-0 up, but instead it's 1-1, and it's Molby. Further indication of Liverpool's immense backbone, that they should come back from a dodgy spell and equalise with almost their first attack of the second half. It also goes to show, Jimmy, that if you can time your run and the pass is played at the right time, you can beat the square line defence, can't you?
Well, you'll never see a better example of how it was done, and beautifully taken after that. Does it go over the line? Yes, it deserves to. Yes, it's his goal. No, Craig Johnson sniffing in there to try and steal it, but Rush's goal, and deservedly so.
Stephen. Here comes Mims. It was, just for the record, it was Russia's 32nd of the season. Not quite as many as Lineker, but we singled the two chief scorers out before the match. Offside there. In the pre-match build-up, Jimmy Hill was comparing the two in terms of quality and match-winning potential, and the front cover of the Radio Times had it right. They've both scored. Lineker.
Where do we look to see who's going to score the next one, John?
Well, I think I'll leave you to decide that, Jim. But there's no question now that we've got a different sort of cup final, because Liverpool have bounced back from off the ropes. Here's Kenny Dalglish. McDonald, wide to Whelan. McDonald's trying to make it for a return. Mulby, who supplied the pass. Steve Nicol in support. Here's Gary Stevens. And Hansen, uncertain, and the header by Sharp. And a fine save by Grobbelaar. He got his captain out of jail there. Alan Hansen with a most uncharacteristic error in trying to ward off Lineker. He beat his own goalkeeper and gave Sharp a heading chance. But look at Grobbelaar's athletic recovery. Corner to Everton. Sharp in with the goalkeeper this time. Offside. Here's Rush. Dalglish is up, so is Mulby here. Dalglish, no, Johnston, yes! 2-1 to Liverpool. Craig Johnston. What a turnaround. The 63rd minute, and Mulby makes another. Dalglish couldn't get to it, Johnston could. Rush inside to Mulby. Took on Gary Stevens, chipped the ball inside. Craig Johnston puts Liverpool in front. And we've had 2 goals in 6 minutes. And Everton's lead is wiped out. Now Liverpool are in front. Just the sort of cup final the neutral might have wanted. And the double is suddenly more than just a dream. For Howard Kendall, it must seem like a nightmare the last 7 minutes. Ian Rush. Well, what more can you say about Liverpool's powers of recovery? And the man who I believe may have turned this match, and we'll hear from Jimmy Hill in a moment, is Jan Molby, because he's had a hand in both the goals and is suddenly, Jimmy, the most influential player on the field.
Yes, there aren't many goals needed to win a match at Wembley, and when you've had a hand in both of them, I suppose you're feeling pretty satisfied. And of course the confidence you can see oozing there with that little flick now.
Liverpool have won the championship. They lead by 2-1 in the FA Cup final. Never surely since Arsenal managed it in 1971 has the league and FA Cup double looked to be more of a possibility than this. There again, Liverpool have come back once, and Everton themselves are known as a side who can score goals deep into the game. So those flags may be waved prematurely. We shall see. And for all Grobbelaar's uncertainties early in the half, the save from Sharp now begins to look very important.
Yes, it does, and he's certainly a much happier man at this point of time. Lovely game football, isn't it, when it can turn around like that, all in the space of a few minutes, which is why everybody wants to have fighters in their side. People who won't give up, because if you keep battling on when there's more space as time goes on, there are always opportunities. And I could never see this being just a 1-0 game at half-time, and it hasn't turned out to be. I think we might see some more goals yet.
Well, the mood on the terraces has certainly changed these last few minutes, that's for sure. Hooked in by Van den Hauwe. Lineker is there. Grobbelaar can collect. Well, in his own way. Well, the celebrations are at the Liverpool end, and the man whose goal they're actually acknowledging was born in South Africa and brought up in Australia. Talk about the League of Nations.
And hadn't been in the game until he just
sent that
poked
half
that
of
one over the line.
Merseyside into raptures. Reed. Forward by Mountfield. Here's Sharp, and Lineker's in the centre if he can find him. The defender is Lawrenson, then Johnston. And then a collision between Lawrenson and Reed, and Peter Reed never one to back off. Has begun to make gestures in Lawrenson's direction. Reed was at the centre of the Moran controversy last year. Too long for Trevor Stephen. Halfway through the second half, and Liverpool, who haven't won the FA Cup since 1974, are leading by 2-1. Van den Hauwe for Everton. Free kick to Everton. Against the man whose goal has put Liverpool into pole position here. Sharp, Sheedy, McDonald, rush to Dalglish. It's going to open up again here unless Everton are careful, but he's looking left and there's nobody there for Liverpool. So he went alone, Dalglish. What a terrific run. It came to Molby. Well, it was Molby's shot, but I tell you what, at 35, Kenny Dalglish still able to make an individual run like that. He would have passed the ball to his left earlier, I think, if somebody had been there, Jimmy.
Yes, could be. Rush was trying to find space, but he couldn't see the angle to get through, so he thought, well, I better keep going with it, and he did very well indeed.
Just look at the determination, the control, the poise, and the brain working all the time. This is sharp. It comes off Steve Nicol. Now Everton contesting absolutely everything now. Themselves needing to rediscover their foothold in the final. Lawrence and Sheedy. Corner. Well taken. Amazing how your confidence can soar when you suddenly go from 1-0 down to 2-1 up. Van den Hauwe. Just a reminder that Everton do have Adrian Heath on the bench should they wish to bring on an extra attacker. This is Peter Reid, but Mark Lawrenson has got plenty to spare there. And it seems to me pretty certain he'll come on. Van den Hauwe. Oh, and a bit of casual play by Lawrenson, which he had the range to make up for. Johnston, running from midfield was McDonald there. Now here comes the substitution. And the player going off is Gary Stevens, the right back. And the man coming on, Adrian Heath, who came on as a sub against Tottenham in the 5th round and scored. Again at Luton in the 6th round and scored. The final has 18 minutes of normal time to run. Can he do it again for Everton? Stevens, who has had a spot of knee trouble this season, but they've moved Van den Hauwe across to the right, Everton. Van den Hauwe has moved from left back onto our side of the field.
And Brace was the one, I think, who's been asked to go back in that position on the left-hand side of the field.
Morby, Dalglish.
It's a brave tactical side.
McDonald.
Is one, but I didn't see any injury with Gary Stevens, did you?
No, although I do know he has been nursing a knee injury that Everton haven't wanted to make too much of. But having said that, I mean, I suppose bringing on a striker at this stage is quite logical anyway.
Logical but dangerous.
Well, I saw those games at Tottenham and Luton, and I've not forgotten what Heath did. Here's Van den Hauwe being knocked over by Ian Rush. It gives Everton 3 men up front now. Just wonder if Liverpool will have to pull perhaps Kevin McDonald into a more defensive position in their midfield to counter that. Reid, Heath. In by Van den Hauwe. Sharp is in there, and so is Sheedy here. Craig Johnston needing to stay up. Good block. Sheedy again. Heath. Sheedy. Heath. Now Liverpool's defensive resources are being examined. Bracewell. Here's Ratcliffe. Bracewell to Sheedy. Floated. Oof, that was Alan Hansen. Gary Lineker was lurking right behind him at that moment. And Everton are seeking the equaliser with a vengeance. Mulby's header. Now Dalglish looking for an outlet. Rush was the only possibility. A quarter of an hour to go. 15 minutes separating Liverpool Football Club from the League and FA Cup double. Only ever done 4 times in the past and only twice this century by Tottenham and Arsenal. Oh dear, Lawrenson was taken there. Graham Sharp. Aberdeen have gone even further ahead in Scotland. Billy Stark has made it Aberdeen 3, Heart of Midlothian 0, so it looks as though Alex Ferguson is going to go off to the World Cup a happy man. And Kenny Dalglish might as well. If things stay as they are here, he certainly will. Well, they'll be enjoying this down in Australia. Craig Johnston's family and friends. He's found Dalglish. Vanden Hauwe. Everton are playing virtually with 3 at the back now. Free kick. Hansen penalised. Taken quickly. Stephen. Vanden Hauwe. Stephen. Bracewell. Looks for Mountfield and Sharp on that far side. Sheedy. Bracewell. Sheedy again. 7 forward, 8 forward for Everton here. Stephen. Chipped in nicely here. On by Reed. Oh, and Lawrenson, a poor clearance. And a volley by Sharp from Mountfield's knockback. Just a moment of uncertainty there from the usually elegant Mark Lawrenson. And it certainly communicated itself to the bench there, where Ronnie Moran, Bob Paisley and Chris Lawler, with Roy Evans, Liverpool stalwarts, all of them, were anxious to say the least. Well, there are 13 minutes to go. Liverpool lead 2-1, but Everton have scored more goals in the last quarter of an hour of matches this season than at any other period. So let's see what happens. Here's Rush. Many's the time they've come strong, Everton, in the closing minutes of both league and cup games, and Liverpool will be aware of all that. Hansen. Whelan. Rush. That's a foul. Pat Vanden Hauwe. Well, we did say that Liverpool don't lose when Rush scores. I wonder if that's going to be extended here. Mulby, the man who's had a hand in both the Liverpool goals. Here's McDonald. He's got Johnston out on the right, who scored the second one. Good skill, but not a good pass. Reed. Oh, Ronnie Whelan. Rush to his left, nobody else there. Rush. Dalglish. Mulby. And still Jan Mulby. He's through. Oh, good block, Bobby Mims. That must have kept Everton in the final, that save. Just how important it proves, only the next few minutes will tell us. Mims from Mulby. Sheedy. Steve Nicol. Johnston. Nicol continues a forward run here. Dalglish. Lost out. Offside, Gary Lineker. Well, just a moment ago, Jan Mulby nearly completed what would have been a high-class personal performance to earn him man of the match. He'd made 2 goals, and he threatened to score the 3rd himself, but Bobby Mims, who's acquitted himself extremely well again, 22-year-old playing at Wembley for the first time, made a fine stop. Rush. Oh, well played. But he couldn't take them all on. It was Van den Hauwe that stopped him. 10 minutes to go. The league and cup double is on for Liverpool. Sharp is up there, Hansen's header. The ricochet not going Everton's way. Dalglish. And Mulby onside. Mountfield is favourite. Sharp. Oof. Appeals for handball against Lawrenson by Adrian Heath. Not given. Dalglish. Whelan. Johnston. Oh, and Mulby got caught in possession. And that's dangerous, and here's Sharp. And here's Lineker. A chance. His first touch, not as good as usual. Jim Beglin given the opportunity to exhibit his skills, but I think it was more in relief. Frustration for Lineker. Rush. Mulby is coming up in support, just behind him. Dalglish is in the centre. It's Mulby's chip, and Dalglish can keep it in. He's got support too. Whelan.
Well, the domination of Liverpool. Whelan there with his left foot, which isn't his natural foot, although he plays on the left side. I did say in the recent match that he was a left-footed player. He's not, but he was rather pleased, really, that he'd fooled me, because it meant he was so two-footed. But that was a pretty good shot with the non-natural foot, but just wide as you saw.
8 minutes to go. Everton 2-1 down. Adrian Heath. Play on. Good decision by Alan Robinson, actually. Trevor Stevens' cross. Out. Goal kick.
It was a poor cross there from the young man, really. Disappointed in him today. Just once or twice, I think he could do more to use the talent that he's got. He's extremely skillful. It's all there. But not enough penetrative play from him, with decent crosses at the end of it off his right foot. But he's got a long while to go yet in the game, and could learn and could emerge even in the World Cup as something more than we've seen already.
Howard Kendall's team have about 7 minutes to force extra time. And here's Sheedy. Chipped in towards Lineker. Jim Beglin with the header. This is Whelan. That's Johnston. This is Rush. Mulby again. Oh, I say, his vision there was lovely. Whelan. And Dalglish, and Rush is on the far side. Is this 3? It is! Again, and surely now the double is about to be won. 6 minutes from the end. Mims deflated. Liverpool delighted. And Ronnie Whelan involved in the move. There were possibilities either way here. Dalglish was free the other side, but Rush, with that unerring finish, has scored his second of the match and made it 3-1 to Liverpool. They had a man over throughout that attack. It was a matter of how they would make it tell. And in the end, they did, through Rush. Goal kick. Nothing's going Everton's way now. And the men in the white coats tell the story on the scoreboard. And what they're really saying is that Liverpool Football Club now seems certain to follow in the wake of Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal as the only clubs to win the First Division Championship and the FA Cup in the same season this century. There is under 5 minutes to go, and here's Dalglish. Don't say they're going to score again. Johnston. Nicol. Foul by Peter Reid as frustration creeps in among the Everton ranks. Well, when they were leading 1-0 and might have made it 2, you wouldn't have put very much store by the fact that Liverpool were going to score 3. But score them they have, with Mulvey so instrumental in this powerhouse second-half performance by the Reds. Here's Stephen for Everton. Heath got away from McDonald there. Now, Sharp. Grobbelaar will have to stretch.
What a turnaround, John, from the moment when Grobbelaar there on the ball now was so upset, grumbling, 1-0 down, having let in the first goal, and all of a sudden it's joy for Liverpool, and Everton have disappeared from the scene. I wouldn't hold much hope for your bet of a draw at extra time now, at the end of the time.
Sharp to Heath, looking for Stephen. Lineker's in the centre. Nicol needs to clear. Oh, dear me. Trevor Stephen there lost his way, and Rush found Whelan. No, I wouldn't give much hope for the bet either, but I'm not complaining, Jimmy. It's one of the most attractive and compulsive FA Cup finals that we've had the privilege of commentating on.
Indeed, and you've talked about Jan Mulvey, but what about Ian Rush there? We talked about him being a greyhound at the start of the match, but that last move, he started and got on the end of it. Quite tremendous. Like Skirlow Champ, I think, is the present wonder of the greyhound track.
And Johnston goes down just outside the area, nothing given. It was a through ball by Nicol that put him on his way. And never has "You'll Never Walk Alone" been sung with more gusto. There are 3 minutes now. Dalglish, the player-manager, on the verge of yet another phenomenal achievement. And leading from the front, taking them on. Craig Johnson has got cramp. Dalglish has lost a boot. The fans are checking their watches.
And you've lost a bet.
Well, I'm only pleased. I'm just relieved I haven't lost my voice, actually. Because this has been a quite gripping second half. And all Liverpool's tradition and experience and know-how over what, 22, 23 seasons has come not just to their aid here, it's put them on the verge of an historic achievement. And nobody would argue with their right to be in this position. Certainly not those people. Two minutes, Johnston. Well, normally at this stage, we're looking at the excited manager on the bench about perhaps to win the cup. You can't do that this year because he's on the field. Well, the celebrations away to my left have started in earnest. There's a party going on up there. It's the old shout of EI Adio, we've won the cup. And I must give full marks to my co-commentator. He said that the substitution by Everton was a dangerous thing to do. Rather than save the game, the match has actually gone further beyond them since Heath came on. We're in the last minute of the match. This is sharp for Everton. Heath was running offside there. They've had to check. Liverpool are keeping a solid line. Johnston is having an inspired time. Reed. Heath helps it on. This is Trevor Steven. Lineker and Sharp are waiting in the centre. It's Steven still. And he plays it back to Reed. And now it's Ratcliffe. And Big Morby tries to get a foot in, and Liverpool might break again. There's an extra man here. Dalglish played it beautifully to Rush. Kevin McDonald is free on the far side. Dalglish is on this side. And he passed the ball to where he thought McDonald might have gone. And in fact, he checked his run, and lots of Liverpool fans would have loved to have seen Dalglish have a go himself there. The referee has checked with his linesman. We are entering stoppage time. Liverpool lead by 3-1. This is Adrian Heath for Everton. And it comes off Mark Lawrenson for a corner. Heath. Bracewell chips it. Grobbelaar goes for... Oh, beautifully taken. Off Mountfield's head. Like picking a plum off a tree. It's confirmed from Scotland that Aberdeen have lifted the trophy there. Mims having to play centre-half. But Liverpool here are poised for something much greater than that. Molby, Dalglish. Molby, play on, and is Rush going to score a hat-trick? He's through again. Oh, he was just a bit too casual. That could have been the first FA Cup final hat-trick, I think, since Stan Mortensen in '53. Bracewell has found Lineker offside.
Just thinking, as the game has gone on, Ian Rush and Liverpool have become stronger in their running power, and Gary Lineker and Everton really have faded in that striking force up front.
Isn't that just Liverpool down the years, though, Jimmy? Stronger in the championship race, too, on the final straight. And Liverpool Football Club, under their player-manager, Kenny Dalglish, have become only the third team this century to win the First Division Championship and the FA Cup, the marvellous double in the same season. A wonderful achievement, born out of a superb and so typical second-half recovery by Liverpool today. The facts are those. One down until 57 minutes had gone. But then the reply. And what can you say now about this tremendous club? 31 prizes in 23 seasons. But now, following Tottenham in 1961 and Arsenal in 1971, they are the first northern club to win the double since Preston North End in 1889. And they add another to the long list of monumental achievements that they've struck up since the late Bill Shankly got hold of this club in the early 60s. Supporters thought they'd seen it all. They've won European Cups, and as always there has to be sadness. And Everton, who were good for their lead at half-time, and I have to say might easily have gone 2-0 up in the first 10 minutes of the second half. That shouldn't be forgotten. But when you talk about recoveries, and Bob Paisley's seen a few of those, and indeed he's inspired a few of them from his manager's chair. Look at that shot. That's the best picture of the afternoon. The continuity, which is the byword at Anfield, has been proven again. There were those who had doubts when they gave Kenny Dalglish the job last summer. My goodness me, how they've proved the doubters wrong. And Liverpool win the FA Cup for only the third time. It'll be the captain, Alan Hansen, who goes up to get it. There's no way he'll let Dalglish go first, and nor should he really. They've had tremendous moments in Europe. They've had success here in the League Cup. They've won 16 championships, 8 in 11 years. But never before have they won the League and Cup double. And now the moment is here. What a consolation for Alan Hansen in the week he was left out of the Scotland World Cup party. These cheers, sweet music to his ears, and to those of Liverpudlians everywhere. Liverpool have won the double. And the two Scots, Hansen and Dalglish, who played against each other years ago up north of the border. Well, they've had a terrific time since they came south with this club. Hansen, who came just before the cup final in '77. Dalglish, who came that same summer as a replacement for Kevin Keegan. Craig Johnson, the goal scorer. Celebrations all round. Steve McMahon, the sub there, didn't get a sniff of the action, but Ian Rush certainly did. 2 goals, it might have been 3. Kevin McDonald didn't know he was playing until lunchtime, and Jan Molby, who, well, it'll be interesting to see what the experts say. I thought he was possibly more influential than anybody else in the way this match turned upside down. Everton then, winners 2 years ago, go up as losers for the 2nd consecutive year. Typical out of the Liverpool spirit. Sammy Lee there, not even in the 12. And a wonderful chant too from the Liverpool terrace of Merseyside, because that's what this occasion has been about. And to that degree, Everton have more than played their part in what turned out to be a more entertaining FA Cup final than most neutrals had predicted. And well refereed by Alan Robinson in his retirement season. Well, the Merseysiders, quite rightly, are taunting the Mancunians, because this is something that Manchester United and company have not achieved. The League and Cup double in Kenny Dalglish's first season as the player-manager. No wonder they salute him now. Well, what is there new to say about Liverpool, Jimmy? On top for over 20 years, and today proving in front of Her Royal Highness that their football has a radiant smile as well.
Indeed, and a lot of people have tried to unravel the secret. There are certain things that they do that are different from other clubs. I mean, they buy players and put them in the reserves for 5 years, like Gillespie. And Everton, in a way, have imitated that. They've begun to do that kind of thing recently and building in the same way. There's no magic about their training. They play a lot of five-a-side, and so do a lot of other clubs. The secret doesn't seem to be there. It is, as you've said, I think, in the continuity, but also in that tremendous spirit which you can feel from those players on the pitch as they're celebrating. They really are friends. They really are part of a team, and you take on one, you take on the lot and the whole club.
Yes, there are no superstars at Anfield, are there? They're all treated the same. They are a down-to-earth club in every sense. They eat off the set meal menu when they're in the hotel. There's nothing fancy about them. I was there on Thursday night, and the backroom staff just drink their half of lager and tell you there's no secret, really.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the secrets, a star they had in Graham Souness, and I think it took Jan Molby a season. I think that was their quiet season last time round, to acclimatise himself to the rather different pace of the English league. And I think he has done that and emerged today as a superstar in his own right, but not allowed to say so, not as a Liverpool player.
Sporting smile from Peter Reid, who made the first goal. But an even wider grin from a man who was voted Manager of the Year yesterday in only his first season in the job, but still finds time to get out on the pitch and produce the goods. And if you can reflect on Liverpool's season, it's when Dalglish brought himself back into the side for the big games that things really began to buzz. Craig Johnston, whose goal was the one that put the match within Liverpool's control. And what about this man's contribution? Jan Molby of Denmark. But an adopted Scouser now. He's even got the accent.
It makes you think where they get their players from. They're not all English, are they, by any means? You mentioned the two Scots, the two brilliant ones at the start. One born in South Africa, another Dutchman. It's a wide spread, and perhaps explains at times why the England team doesn't always follow the achievements of clubs like Liverpool and Everton in Europe and places like that. And of course an Irishman there. And what a talented one. And of course Bruce from Zimbabwe, which we have to say now, although when he was born there it was called something different.
They began to call him one or two different things earlier this season, but in spite of a bit of uncertainty at the beginning of the second half, he made one save which I'm sure Kenny would appreciate when Everton was still very much in the game.
I'm sure the whole team appreciated it, and they'll forgive him his moment of rattiness in the game this afternoon, which was so uncharacteristic. But he was so upset that he knew he could do better and proved it immediately afterwards almost.
Nice shot there of Gary Gillespie, ruled out of the final by a stomach upset, which only came on in the last 24 hours. And Kevin MacDonald, holding the cup on the left, number 11, had never even been to Wembley before today, even as a spectator.
No.
And here he is now in the side that completes the double.
Well, he's got his hand on the cup, but I do feel sorry for Gary Gillespie because he's been part of their improved form recently. He's been playing every match, and they've had a tremendous run. And there's Kenny. He must wonder really what's happened to him. I mean, I can tell him now that managing is not as easy as this. It's all worked out in the first season, and I don't wish him any harm in the future because he's a marvellous inspiration. But how does he follow that? Where does he go from here to better? It's been just such a marvellous season, so full of emotion, full of achievement, and enabling Liverpool, I have to say this for a bit of fun, to emulate two London clubs and do the double. It's not many things they're in third place at. No,
but the two London clubs never had those 20-odd years of unparalleled continuous success like Liverpool have had. Nobody else has, Jimmy, in modern times.
No, it is a record that is breathtaking, and whatever it is they do, we should all try and find out and copy because it's magnificent. But I don't think there have been any losers in this cup final today. Liverpool won on 3-1, but it's been such a magnificent occasion. The crowd have been well behaved here. They sung Abide With Me and they sung God Save the Queen, and it really has been marvellous. They came in as Everton supporters and Liverpool supporters, but really more than anything else, supporters of the game of football, and that's what's gained today.
We just saw Kenny go down the tunnel there, and you said, where does he go from here? The only thing he can do to top that is score the winning goal in the World Cup final, isn't it?
Wouldn't be a bad achievement next, John. Wouldn't be a bad, and I hope we're there to see it.
Well, what those supporters saw today was a cup final that they will remember for quite some time. It was the sort of cup final that we want in the current climate, wasn't it? No sterile tactics, no extra time, just a really good game that went first one way on the left there and then to the team on the right.